This is a quick spoiler warning, so if you haven't finished Skyrim, then most of this video will ruin some of the best parts of the game. So there you go. Ooh, whatto chaps, I am Magical Mike, and you can follow me on Twitter for no particular reason, at YTMagicalMike, and I'm here to show you what I think are my top 5 best bits in all of Skyrim. So I spent a lot of time with this game, and I loved absolutely every minute of it, and this countdown was quite hard to put together and to narrow down. I had to leave out some really honourable contenders, like meeting the Dark Brotherhood for the first time, but hopefully you'll generally see my points as we start with number 5, Blackreach. So starting out with easily the most dark area of the lot, Blackreach was something I'd heard a lot about from friends, mostly Guild Wars buddy, who'd beaten me to it, and it was demanded of me that I be in the Ventrilo server when I actually do the corresponding quest so that my friends could hear my reaction, and man, it was worth it. It really was worth it to share that moment with other people, and that's why I'm doing this and talking about it. Being able to voice my initial reactions was great, and sharing all my thoughts is generally why I make videos in the first place. So, this place is basically a huge, ancient, underground, dwarven city. It's connected to a lot of the ruins on the surface, but it's so deep that it pretty much became a myth. In the game lore anyway. I didn't play Morrowind, so this is why I'm so interested in all the Dwemer stuff in Skyrim. I find it really interesting and really detailed. The architecture of the buildings set in the stone of the cave, the giant mushrooms, the oddly coloured water in the ceiling, everything in here feels really well designed, and it's really interesting to have a look around there. Blackreach is riddled with Falmer, so that's kind of a problem if you don't like them very much. I know I don't. The poison is fairly annoying. But there's also a cult of human servants, which is odd. Go and explain that. You'll probably find some diaries and things down there. Some trolls, dwarven mecha, chorus or chorus, however you want to pronounce those. I even found a giant wandering around down there. The colour scheme is so amazing. It's hard to really get across in words, but maybe that's because of my bias towards blue being my favourite colour and all that, and even the sounds are atmospheric. On that note, you'll also probably notice the familiar hum of Nirnroot in the area. Now, of course, they had this sound throughout all the games as far as I'm aware, but at least in Oblivion it wasn't too obvious. However, in Skyrim, Nirnroot is more obvious, and you'll find some different ones around here. They're not so common in Blackreach though, and upon picking one up you'll be prompted to find 29 more of them for a quest. Those who played the previous Elder Scrolls game will also find familiarity when they find the researcher Sindarian, which is part of the quest that I just mentioned. You should find his diary at some point that details his story and how he ended up down here in the first place. Oh, and before you groan at the mention of a Nirnroot quest, the plants do respawn, and there's plenty of them. You only have to find 30 anyway, so it's not too bad. So they're not as troublesome as to find as they were in Oblivion, and the reward for the quest is actually pretty decent, if you're at all into alchemy in this game. So the whole area is just amazing, and if you thought that wasn't enough, then there's even a unique dragon to fight down there. Yeah, a dragon.
Fus-ro-dah!
It makes you wonder all the implications that these discoveries have within the game universe. So I would recommend going back there and just having a little look around yourself and just re-exploring the area and immersing yourself back into the game. So that's one down. Find out what will beat it in my next episode. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at YTMagicalMike for generic rubbish. I hope you enjoyed this part, and I will see you next time. Cheerio!